Assalamu alaikum, and thanks for inviting us into your homes on Hilaal TV, channel 347. It's days away from our upcoming elections, and I thought, why don't we invite a couple of political parties into studio and find out about how their campaign is going, but also gives our audience a better perspective on what to expect in the upcoming elections. In studio today, I have Brother Nazier Paulsen, who's part of the EFF. Assalamu alaikum, my brother.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and shukran so much for inviting us, and salams to the viewers as well.
Alhamdulillah.
And thanks for allowing me into your homes.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time. I know it's a busy time of the year for you, extra busy now that it's election year as well. So let's start with, for those that we've all seen manifestos being, given out and showcased. Let's run through the EFF's manifesto very quickly, some of the pertinent points.
Yeah, well, I think the most important thing about the manifesto, it's a people's manifesto. So around about last year, August, we started by doing consultative meetings in communities, going to ask communities, what is it that you want from an EFF government, right? So this book is the aspirations of ordinary South Africans, what they want from the government. 260 pages of really hard work. We were led by, the whole process was well organized. So I did a couple of the consultative meetings myself, drafted the inputs from communities, what they want from an EFF government. So that's the one aspect of it. The others was we also invited people to WhatsApp, to email, to call us. We also had consultations with experts and professionals in various fields. What is it that needs to be done, especially fields like medicine, justice? What is it that a government should be doing that the current government isn't doing? What works, what doesn't work? We've also, from our own experiences over 10 years as the second largest opposition party in parliament and in legislatures. In some legislatures, we are the official opposition. In the legislature, like the Western Cape, we're currently the second largest opposition. So we're going to leapfrog the ANC to become the governing party here in the Western Cape. I'm confident about that. But more importantly, Lukman, the EFF's campaign started in 2022 when we had the 1 million membership campaign. We said we wanted 1 million members. That's the foundation to build on. And then in 2023, and in 2022, the members then, we were working towards 2024, and what they said was, and it's reminiscent of what took place before 1994. Right. And what they said was, 2024 is our 1994. Became very catchphrase. Some popcorn parties popped up from out of nowhere and took to 2024 is our 1994 slogan as theirs. We then, in 2023, we went on to our voter registration campaign, where we went out into communities, registered people to vote. So when the IEC voter registration weekend started, we went and we made sure that we used this as a test ground for our elections. Right. We've already registered our voters. People still came and to register to vote, came and and to also to put their name down to vote for the EFF come the 29th of May 2024. So all of this was already, we prepared for it. So when 2024 came, it was now going back to those voters to go and get them to still reaffirm their support for the organization, which is what we are doing now, making sure that we've got party agents at every voting station. An election is won long before elections. Oh, absolutely. But we had also lost on the day of election. If you don't have presence at those voting stations, those voters say, hey, but where's my party? Right. I was just going to allude to that as well. And even last year, the last election, we had a terrible turnout. Voter registration, turnout, people blamed the rain. They blamed, so many different things as well, especially in the Western Cape. Couple of days away from elections. I know electioneering stops at about the 25th around, but up until then, what is your plans? Electioneering stops at 9 o'clock on the 29th of May,
Okay.
2024.
I get you. What are your plans as a party to, what are you hoping to do up until that time?
Well, what we're doing now, we're still doing our door-to-door campaigns.
Okay.
We've got our volunteers, our members. We call them ground forces because that's what they are. They are the real force in the organization. Those ordinary members who volunteer their time. There's and an ordinary member is most precious to any leader in the EFF because those are the ones that will do the work of the EFF. There's not a single politician that can say, I've got such a wonderful reputation, I can just put my face on a post and people would vote for me. It's not going to happen. That's not how politics works. That's not how elections work. We've seen several really big names contest an election as a leader of a party, but that party got nothing because didn't have the design, the organization, and the discipline amongst its members. And I think the EFF members, after 10 years, we've got the most disciplined party members, ordinary members, volunteers who go out and work for the organization.
Okay.
And there is nothing that I wouldn't do for those members because of what they, I want to make sure that they travel safely to the point where we're doing the campaigning. I want to make sure that they're fed and that while they're campaigning, they are safe. I want to make sure that they get home safe to their families also afterwards because that's how important, that's what people means to the EFF.
Yeah.
Not just the voters out there, but also our own members.
Speaking about costs, and obviously it's you need funds you need to raise funds. You need funds to continue the campaigning, to continue the work that you do as well. Where do the funds come from? Are they sponsors, business people?
The EFF, other than this IEC funding that we do get, the EFF is funded by its members.
Okay.
I pay a party levy as a member deployed to the National Assembly, and we've got 103 in the National Assembly, the NCOP, and the various legislatures. And then we have over 900 other councillors who also pay levies to the organization.
Okay.
So the EFF, unlike any other political party, will always belong to its members because it's not funded by some rich auntie with the surname of Oppenheimer.
Great.
So that is why. So the growth of the EFF, because it was funded by its own members, it's been organic over a period of 10 years.
Okay.
So over a period of 10 years, I remember in 2014, when I was premier candidate of the EFF, for the EFF in the Western Cape, I had to go and fundraise, and a guy who was a good friend of mine said, "Hey man, don't worry about it. I'll pay for your posters."
Okay.
Right. So he paid for the posters. So that is the humble beginnings of the EFF, and the growth of the EFF has been organic, simply because it's funded by its members. We didn't have big money to go and pay people to be members of the EFF. People join the EFF because of what it stands for, the essential message of the EFF.
Seems to be the overall, people in South Africa tend to resonate to what you stand for and your party stands for. In the Western Cape, we have quite a few challenges. Where does the EFF stand on some of those challenges in the Western Cape?
Well, we've got serious challenges. If I look at the critical issues in the Western Cape, it's crime, unemployment. Now, I know that, if you do a Africa check on what the DA says, it refutes everything.
Yeah.
We do still have very high unemployment, especially in the African and colored communities.
Yeah.
We have serious crime in those areas as well. And the two go together. Crime requires three things. It requires low education levels, it requires poverty, and requires poor health. Those things contribute to criminality. So those are the things essentially that our manifesto speaks to.
Okay.
We speak about early childhood development becoming compulsory. So imagine a 3-year-old, the best years of a child's life. I mean, I taught my 3-year-olds to do things that it's difficult for me to have learned myself. But where we socialize them as to how important it is to respect each other, to respect yourself, to respect the world around you. So we start socializing them. But in addition to that, we are going to create jobs. And when I say jobs, I don't mean everyone must become a job seeker. We are going to create employers of people in our communities. We're going to create industrialists from the African and colored communities.
Right.
And we are going to do that by industrializing.
Gotcha.
So instead of 5 million tons of iron ore leaving Saldanha to go overseas, we're going to take that iron ore, we're going to produce our steel locally. We're going to use that steel and produce products, vehicles, fridges, stoves, microwaves, you name it. We are going to beneficiate our minerals locally.
Absolutely. A minute left. I know it's gone so quick. I'd like to speak to you for a lot further and maybe get more time sometime in next week or the following week.
Yes.
In closing, any last message you would like to leave to our viewer?
Well, across South Africa and in Western Cape, there's no other party that has made the effort to go to communities to ask them what it is they want. Our president went to Lodium, Lenasia, Reiger Park, El Dorado. He's coming to the Western Cape next weekend. He's traveling around the country. He's tired, he's exhausted, but his love for people is what drives him. And that is the passion we want from a president. That is what I want from a man who I call my leader.
Brilliant. Nazier, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for affording us your time. All the very best, and we'll do a catch-up sometime soon.
Shukran so much. I look forward to it.
EFF member Nazier Paulsen in studio with us and giving us his thoughts about the next couple of weeks leading up to the elections. That's all that we have for you today. We're back tomorrow between 5 and 7, inshallah, on Hilaal Live from Sohail Barnes and myself, Luqman Shadrack. Have a great evening. Assalamu alaikum.